So Alex Pereira posted to his Instagram and says it looks like the White House is a no-go. I am very thankful. I'm very thankful that Alex Pereira is not on the White House card. You guys want to know why? You guys want to know why? Because if they put Alex on the White House card, he was going to be fighting Jon Jones. He was going to be fighting Jon Jones. Do you know how that sounds? That sounds like Ilia Topuria moving up from 145 to go to 155, and instead of him fighting Islam Makhachev, he calls out Khabib. He says, no, I don't want to fight Islam. No, I want to fight the legend that is Khabib Nurmagomedov. How does that even sound? When a champion moves from a different division to a new one, you're supposed to fight the champion. That is never once in the UFC's history has a champion moved up to a different division, an active champion, and has not fought the current champion of that division. So Alex trying to play musical chairs, right, with him moving up to a different division and fighting Jon Jones, a person who's not even in the rankings, is blasphemy. Now, the whole sport is kind of turning into blasphemy when we're putting Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett and Arman is sitting on the sidelines. But it's an entertainment sport. I understand that. But now that we are seeing that Alex is not going to be fighting on the White House, the percentage of him fighting Jon Jones just went down astronomically. Do you guys really think Jon Jones is going to be fighting Alex and lost, like in a random, like, you know what I mean? Jon Jones said he wanted something big to come back to. He wanted something that he could hang his hat on and be like, that was my legacy, that was it, cannot be topped. I don't think Jon versus Alex in Utah, for example, is really going to cut the cake for Jon Jones, considering he stepped away from $30 million because he didn't want to fight Tom Aspinall. So you know what this means. This means that hopefully, Alex is going to be staying at light heavyweight. Hopefully. Now, there's three options. There's three. In reality, there's one. The three options are Ankalaev, Yuri Prochazka, or Carlos Ulberg. Now, Carlos Ulberg shouldn't get the shot off the bat. You know, you guys main evented Carlos Ulberg against Dominic Reyes, I believe, and the ticket sales were so horrendous that we had to lower the prices to $13. Right? So he is not main event ready. He is not title holder ready. He is not even media ready. Okay? Let's not do that. When Yuri was getting interviewed and Yuri said, yeah, Carlos Ulberg ducked the fade against me, he looked like he wanted to hide in his own skin. He didn't know what to do at that point. Carlos needs some more time, which is okay. So it's now down to Yuri or Ankalaev, right? And if you really look at it, if you really look at it, Yuri and Ankalaev both fought Alex twice. Only one of them has a victory. Only one. And only one of them has a dominant victory, and that is Ankalaev. Ankalaev dominated Alex Pereira through 25 minutes. Sure, Alex had coronavirus and a broken foot, maybe, like whatever his excuse was. But you guys go out there and had a rematch because you didn't like the original decision. You said you weren't well prepared. You weren't, 100%. You were traveling all over the world, taking short notice fights, etc. So you get the immediate rematch against Ankalaev, and Ankalaev takes it, not a problem. And you knock him out in a minute. You knock him out in 1 minute. Now you guys are 1-1. The immediate rematch is right there. Do not forget that the UFC tried to hide and coddle Alex Pereira while Ankalaev was on the wings, waiting, hungry. They gave Alex Pereira Khalil Roundtree while Ankalaev sat there and starved. Okay? They've been trying to protect Alex from Ankalaev. So I think him knocking out Ank, they were like, whoa, wait a minute. We might have some GSP level fighter on our hands that can actually renew his losses. He could redeem himself. So if Alex is really going to be staying at light heavyweight, the only option that I want to see, the only option that is viable, that makes sense, is Alex versus Ankalaev. Number three. Alex is not like a stranger to running back fades. Him and Izzy fought how many times? Pretty sure they fought 4 times. Pretty sure Alex and Izzy are 3-1. Alex up. Alright? I need to see this trilogy. I am 1,000% confident that a healthy Ankalaev runs through an Alex Pereira. There's no reason. Like, that was a fluke win, bro. Alex fought Ankalaev for 25 minutes, barely wobbled him, barely put him down. Alex was throwing big shots. I think the way that Alex, like, you know, covered the distance and, you know, he was just fast, he was intense and aggressive, that threw Ankalaev off. He panic wrestled, and the end is the end, okay? Even if you look at the stoppage for Alex Ankalaev too, Unk wasn't out. Yeah, sure, he was getting rocked and thrashed, but it's a fight. Let him fight. Let him squat. Like, let him go out. Let him go out. That's my personal belief. But thank you to the UFC matchmakers for not making this sport a circus anymore. I mean, well, it is definitely still a circus. Again, Ilya out. Patty versus Justin. Arman in the wings. Okay, Holloway versus Charles. Like, the sport is, you know, it's kind of getting a little bit of a joke, but it's okay. I'm here. I love it. I love it here. Thank you for the matchmakers for not booking this, like, absurd fight, because in reality, if they did book book Alex versus John Jones, and John Jones beat Alex, there's no building Alex back up. It doesn't matter how many nobodies he chins, right? It doesn't matter if you put him against Carlos, he chins him. That's it. We're going to remember, oh, that dude got beat by a 40-something-year-old overweight, out of his prime, John Jones. Okay? That's what happened to Cyril Gane, and Cyril Gane is now tainted. They can no longer sell the product of Cyril Gane. You guys get where I'm going here? So I think on all angles, the UFC staff said, you're not taking one of our top selling stars and have a chance to diminish him, okay? We'll give it to somebody who we can at least sort of try to build up in Ankalaev, right? But this kind of leaves a question. John Jones has gotten tested, I believe, 4 times or 5 times in 2025, okay? Who is he going to fight now? Tom? The winner of Derek Lewis and Waldo? You know, I would like to see John versus Walter Walker. Let's see if John can make his way through the rankings. Give me John versus Steve Asplan, or John versus Josh Hokit. You know what they might do? Because this is TKO. This is a TKO company. They might do John Jones versus Gable Steveson. They might do John Jones versus Gable Steveson, and John just might, you know, try to give Gable the rub. You know what I mean? Try to let Gable get the one over on him to build his star. Keep a lookout for that. Keep an eye open on that one, boys. I think that has a little bit of a chance to hit. I think the probability of that is probably a good 15%. Anyways, guys, shout out to the matchmakers. This was a good decision. Now just announce Ankalaev versus Alex 3. Please. Thank you, guys. I'm out of here.